Oh, police! Come to the door. You come to no harm. Shots fired.
Crime never sleeps.
Taser, I think.
But neither
Stand still!
do the cops. Battling on the front line
Taser! Taser!
are Nottinghamshire's finest.
Stop after impact.
Highly trained pursuit drivers, specialists in entry and search.
4 ounces of cannabis.
Rapid response firearms officers.
On police! Show yourself now!
Police with a dog, stop!
And the crime-stopping force
Look at my arm!
of the dog unit.
Get down on the floor!
Wherever the battle takes them, they'll never back down.
Taser!
Because cometh the hour
Yeah, Bass, we've still got him. Up on the back wheel, offside of the road.
Doing.
cometh the interceptors.
Where are you from? Leeds. Don't come to Nottingham again, will you?
Coming up,
You can either come and open this door now, or I'll put the door in and I'll arrest you.
in the sights
Go on.
of a size 9 entry system.
Get on the floor. Got failed to start.
A runaway Golf is gone in 60 seconds.
We've got one of the industrial units on the side of the Leamington estate.
And objects in the mirror can be closer than they appear. It's a warm and sunny Friday afternoon in the city centre. But for the interceptors, the latest radio report is distinctly chilling.
Another public friend saying there's a male running around with a big knife, about 12 inches long. All of saying it's raised and looks a bit like a bread knife.
Several units are en route.
Do the ring road.
Among them, armed response team Ian Coleman and Rob Ely.
First and foremost, we've got to get to the area and get this person stopped and detained and stop him from doing anything else with this knife. So we've been given a taser authority. There's quite a few units going over, and we'll start off with a wide area search to try and locate this person. Take your next left.
Oh, yeah.
The firearms boys land at a scene swarming with mates from the knife crime team.
Wow. Everybody's here.
There's also fresh intel that the suspect has now disappeared into a property. And a blade is clearly visible through the window. So, while 2 units head round the back, Ian and Rob join Sergeant Matt Daly at the front.
Do you want to open the door, mate, at the back?
Matt clocks someone,
Go on, then.
who heads to the back, good as gold, but he's not opening the door.
Yeah, you've been knocking, why haven't you answered? Come to the back door and show us that, please, otherwise we're going to have to force our way in. Come to the back door and open it for us then, so we can talk to you.
Okay, buddy. Thank you. We'll speak to you through the door. He's not going to come, I don't think.
The man's gone into the kitchen. And back at the front of the house, the cops reckon he's up to something.
What are you doing? Why are you hiding that?
They suspect he's disposing of drugs, so time is of the essence.
Look, mate, we're going to put your door unless you come and open the door for us. There's your 2 options.
Mate, listen to me.
In a second about
You are
it,
matching
won't
the
we?
description of someone that's on the street in possession of a knife. So you can either come and open this door now, and we can speak about it, or I'll put the door in and I'll arrest you.
Heavy metal fan Rob tackles criminals like a true hard rocker. Noisy, no nonsense, and with the volume cranked up to 11.
Come to the door and open it, or go to the back door and open it. Leave them drugs alone. Put them back where they were.
The suspect keeps stalling. They need to get in and fast.
That door gonna pop.
Fortunately, the Sarge has a key.
Go on.
Steel toe-capped and size 9.
It's not gonna go. Flex it, go on.
Can he kick it? Yes, he can.
Slip around. Get up there. Put the legs out.
Get on the floor. One thing,
Let's give him a search. Rolling over. Towards you.
Unsurprisingly, the chap is denying all accusations.
Mate,
I wasn't supposed to know drugs.
Yes, you were. We just watched you.
That wasn't drugs. That was no drugs.
Of course it was.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
You think we were born bloody yesterday, man?
No, it wasn't. And you lot have just done it to me on the floor for no reason.
yeah, because you've got a knife in the street, man. You're ripping up drugs in your ex.
If he was, as they suspect, disposing of drugs in the kitchen, then it's fair to say he's missed a bit.
What you got?
Some pills, load of pills of some description.
Some drugs as well, so you go for Class A.
That's not mine.
Class A drugs as well, mate.
That's not mine, though. I'm still watching the house for an agent.
Mate, they're taking an interview now, mate. I'm not asking for your answers.
That's not my address.
But you look. Whoa. You're under arrest for it. Because you're in a house on your own where there's drugs.
Mate.
So you're under arrest.
Yeah.
We've come to the address. The knife on the side matches the description down to a T perfectly to what the witnesses have described. He's come to the front into the kitchen here. We can see him through the back. We've got officers at the front watching him. As you can see, there's some drugs already on the side that he's left out. There's some scales. He's got 2 phones on him and a bit of cash. We're just seeing if there's anything further at the moment.
It's looking to be a decent result, even if the methods used were more than a little unconventional.
Normally we'll use specialist method of entry kit, you know, the big red key as some people see, but the time that it would take to go and get that from the cars and get back any drugs would be long gone. So as you saw, self and the sergeant used the big right foot to put it in. Yes, it's not an approved technique, but sometimes you've just got to do what you've got to do. You've got to risk assess it, look at it and go, it's actually quite a flimsy door, you know, are we really going to come to much harm? Probably not, so I think it's kind of worth the risk. Yeah, it's worked well in the end. There you go.
With the suspect loaded into a blue light taxi to the nick, Joe and Dan go to work searching the rest of the house.
They could hide things absolutely anywhere. The options are endless, realistically, in a bedroom. It's still got a lot of clutter, a lot of voids, so it's just trying to do things methodically and work our way around.
No drawer in the drawers or pot in the plant pot, but the high heels could be both Class E and Class A.
So, oh, nice. Looks like a lump of cocaine. Yeah, I'd say that's coke, uncut. With this, as well as the other stuff inside and the scales, the chopping plate, I'd say is we've probably got enough now for possession with intent to supply. So that's good. We'll seize that and see what else we can find.
Despite a thorough search, the boys don't find any more suspect packages. Even so, it's been a solid day's work with 2 teams of interceptors working in perfect harmony.
You know, it's not often we work with knife crime, but naturally by the nature of the work that they get involved in, the knife crime team, you know, there's the threat and risk when it comes to knife, and it certainly bleeds into our world. They're a good bunch of people, good team. I like them all very much, and it's great to work with them. There was no arguing about who's going to put the first boot into that door. It's always the sergeant's prerogative. If he wants to do it, you know, I am not going to argue with the man. I was just there just to put the final nail in the coffin for the door, that was all. He did most of the hard work.
No action was taken against the man for the suspected Class A drugs or knife, but officers later seized 2 bags of cannabis from another house connected to the suspect. He awaits his day in court for possession of a Class B drug. Still to come.
Yeah, it's cracked, is it?
Chaos on the dual carriageway.
It's just stupidity, isn't it?
And slip sliding and dressed for the slopes.
Don't! I'm not running nowhere.
Oh, he's going.
The force's best drivers are highly trained.
Advanced driver, 2 bag.
With nerves of steel.
ATS straight through, it's on high risk.
And know how to stick to a bad guy. But more importantly, they know when a pursuit just isn't worth the risk.
The more experience you get, you start to appreciate the wider view. You know, what risk is that posing to the public? Is it worth it at the end of the day? if they wanted for a minor offence, they're generally causing a risk to people's lives, then is it worth it? And it's hard to do that because we never like to let people get away. But if it's something very minor, we will abort pursuits and look to minimise the risk to everyone involved.
A streak of blue is racing through reds as Dan and Macca light up Tuesday night in a Skoda VRS.
From 6.4 we're still 52 towards the A46, but we are travelling.
They are indeed, to intercept a blue Focus that's failed to stop for local cops.
As we're now travelling, another Newark response cop has just shouted up saying he's seen it going back into Newark, but he's not trained to pursue, so it's kind of gone into Newark somewhere again.
Reports suggest the Focus has been blowing reds and hitting speeds of more than 100 miles an hour. It poses a serious danger to other road users.
Wheels behind it.
First to arrive in the Newark area is Sergeant Neil. He's in the unmarked Volvo when he clocks a car approaching full tilt, so pulls over for a closer look. The runaway Focus is absolutely flying and he's asking for a crash landing as he rockets onto a roundabout the wrong way. He's now heading northbound on the southbound carriageway. An approaching cop captures the terrifying moment the Ford takes off towards oncoming cars. Neil knows that following the Focus is now far too dangerous, so tracks the runaway from the correct side of the carriageway and waits for helicopter support. It's not till Neil hits 120 miles an hour that he catches sight of the suspect, who is hurtling towards the oncoming traffic at similar speeds. The outcome, unfortunately, is all too predictable. The carnage on the carriageway opposite Neil lights up the night and signals disaster. Word soon filters through to Dan and Macca.
Yeah, he's crashed, is it? Someone head on 100.
It's the news they've been dreading.
Big impacts.
100 mile an hour head on with an innocent driver. Having swung the car round, Neil soon spots the wrecked Focus on the grass verge. Somehow, its driver is out and running. And that's not the only miraculous escape.
Luckily, the person who is hit has got out of the vehicle.
Dan and Macca navigate a rapidly forming tailback to reach the scene.
6-4, state 6. NH, we need to put a roadblock on further back from where we've got it on at the moment. It's not safe.
Having found a way through, they finally spot the Focus.
Jesus.
To survive, let alone run away from a wreck like this, is beyond belief.
To hit someone head on here, unlit, but you can see how far the other car is that he's hit, how far he's travelled. He's lucky to be alive. But we're just going to stay away from it at the moment because there's a dog travelling, and then hopefully they'll pick up a track of where the driver's gone.
With dogs and a chopper, the driver will need the night's second miracle to escape.
We've got it on camera, we're just trying to pick up these outbuildings.
Eyewitness reports have come in of two men acting suspiciously near a large shed on the other side of the field.
Where are they?
Dog handler Jen Else and canine cop Quantum are checking it out.
Please stop for the dog. Please for the dog.
And initial signs are promising.
Hang on, he's getting something. Just have a look in there, Rich. Have a look in there.
Dogs' noses are 10,000 times as sensitive as ours. And though there's no sign of the suspect, quants can lock in on the scent they left behind.
Wait.
The driver must be close. And news soon comes over the radio.
We've got him.
2 men have been apprehended. The cops suspect one is the driver.
They're with him. They've got him anyway. Right, we're happy we can go and have a look at this car now then? Yeah. I just feel for the member of the public that is it. It's just stupidity, isn't it? All for the sake of being arrested, and he's gone head-on at someone at 100 miles an hour. And he's walked out the vehicle without a scratch on him. It's just sheer luck.
The innocent motorist has had a once-over from the ambulance crew and is thankfully unharmed. Meanwhile, the 2 men arrested, whose motives remain a mystery, will be facing some serious questions at the Nick.
Driving the wrong way down the A46 on a dual carriageway at 100 miles an hour, with a vehicle probably travelling up at 60, 70, closing impact of over 170 miles an hour probably. But the harsh reality of it is an authorised pursuit can end in absolute carnage where people could die.
The cops carried out forensic tests on the wrecked Focus. Unfortunately, they couldn't prove that either of the suspects collared in the dark were at the wheel, and no further action was taken.
We could have been looking at 2 fatalities in there. The innocent member of the public, they could be dead. Why would you do it? Is he drunk? Is he on drugs? It just beggars belief, really.
It's a peaceful summer shift, quiet enough for bird watching.
Flip, is that seagull?
God knows, seagulls are monsters. It's probably somebody's fish and chips in a barbecue food.
He's literally got something massive wherever it was.
And firearms cops Paul and Lisa are spotting all sorts.
More flower picking lights going on there.
Aww.
Some roadside flowers to take home to.
That's quite cute.
There are. Bless him.
But it's not all a bed of roses. Rush hour. And as the interceptors blue light to one job, another drops in their collective lap.
Is this some guy on a motorbike without a bloody helmet?
It's never a good idea to ride a motorbike without a helmet, especially if you ride one like this.
Quick, quick, quick. Quick.
Don't! I'm not running nowhere. I'm not going nowhere. But it just get on there.
An H from Foxtrot 23.
Come over here, mate, just on it. I'm going to run.
As we're responding to this wanted male, there was a guy on a motorbike without a helmet. He's come off it. He's absolutely fine. But we've stopped with this male now.
Just leave it there.
You absolute idiot. You could have killed yourself.
Oh, no, do you know the maddest thing? I'll show you the messages. I've just...
No. You could have killed yourself or hurt someone else.
I know.
Lisa's a keen biker. And along with being an interceptor, that makes her an expert in reading roads and riders.
I knew he'd react to our presence even though we were going past him to go to something else. And my worry is, obviously, with being the driver, the fact that he's got no helmet in, I'm concerned that he's reacted, and he did, but fortunately, low speeds and the car in front balked him and he's come off his bike. You just can't make it up. You see it happening before it's going to happen.
Despite wearing no protective gear other than ski goggles in the height of summer, it looks like the rider has escaped with just a few scratches.
How much you paid for it?
$2.50.
But he's not escaping without Lisa laying down the law.
Just bought it, you've babbered me, innit? Simple as that, I've just shown you, I've just bought it 2 minutes ago, literally off that street there. And I've just shown you, I took my bike to tracks.
I know, but do you know what it feels like to be a driver responding and seeing you and knowing what's going to happen next, and then seeing you falling off? Yeah, it's rush hour traffic.
I'm not thinking, honestly, I'm not thinking.
I bet you've hurt yourself, haven't you?
No, yeah.
Exactly. Grab a rash, it's a real thing.
Man, you caught me, it is what it is.
We've caught you because of your stupidity at the end of the day.
You learn a lesson, don't you?
Well, you do, and I hope you have, because you could have gone under the wheels of a bus right there.
It turns out the Alpine off-roader has neither licence nor insurance.
Well, I'm glad it was low speeds, because that means that,
I'm glad it was low
you know, we're not giving you first aid on the ground and making sure you don't die.
Unfortunately for Gogglebox, just 2 minutes after he bought it, his new bike is being seized.
The big thing for you will be the recovery cost, so it'll get picked up. That's 150 quid.
Who's paying that?
That'll come to you. You'll have to pay that.
What now, like?
No, not now. But if you want it back, so if you don't want it back, you don't have to pay anything. But I'll tell you.
250, keep it.
All right, and then, but I'll tell you anyway. If you want it back, it'll be 150 quid for the recovery, and then it's £25 a day thereafter, as of Monday onwards, and you couldn't pick it up till Monday.
Keep it.
Thought you might say that.
Paul and Lisa report the rider for driving without a licence or insurance.
There's three things they can do. They can either give you points, they can do nothing, or they can give you a fine.
Who's that, though?
The Central Ticket Office that deal with these offences. We don't do anymore. We don't put in good words. Mate, you're riding on a road without an helmet on, and then you was going to bugger off. Can you imagine if you'd have gone onto that roundabout and gone under the wheels of a car?
That's why I fell off, because I heard your car coming behind me. I didn't think it was coming from me, so I've swerved, didn't it? Come on, man.
But you knew we was always going to stop you because you got no helmet on.
No, I didn't.
Well, you got no helmet on.
Yeah, I know.
The once remorseful rider appears to be having a change of heart.
I feel like swinging it on you lot, though, because you lot...
What do you mean swinging? No, I've not even got close yet.
But Lisa's having none of it.
The bike. Yeah. It's all on the car.
You lot was tanking down that street, was you not?
Don't just raise your voice. Just keep relaxed. I'm not even going to argue. You're in the wrong. I'm doing my job.
Yeah, then, give this people.
I haven't finished yet. You have to wait a minute. You're winding yourself up.
I know I am.
With the rider's mood taking a tumble, he's given the paperwork and sent on his way.
They'll write to you about it, but that's all we need you for. Cheers. Thanks for stopping.
See you, Ben. Thanks for stopping. That was the most random thing I've ever come across.
The thing is, we see it, we're on the way to something else, could be something life-threatening, and then, because he's been an idiot, we're then stuck here dealing with him when, you know, there could be somebody that genuinely needs our help, and we're not dealing with it.
Apparently it was all my fault because of the way I was driving, but I was responding safely to another job. But it's the realisation to him that he's just purchased something he shouldn't be on, and he's lost it, so he was up and down.
He may have tried to blame the cops, but Paul's just downloaded the dash cam from the Beamer.
Silly man.
I just did my dad voice. I went, don't.
I did hear that when you got out, and I was like, ugh.
I'm not going anywhere.
The off-roader dressed for off-piste was issued a ticket for driving without a licence and no insurance, but later received no further court action.
He might as well have just got his money out and burnt it. What did he say, 250?
250, yeah.
It's like that. Don't commit crime, no, lads and lasses.
Still to come.
It's currently a temporary loss.
Apps and Mozza are playing catch-up.
We've got one of the industrial units on the side of the Leamington estate.
And on the M1, interceptors are a whisker from disaster. These days, your average interceptor carries more gadgets than 007 at a tech convention.
He's done this before, this lad. No, I've not done it with Puff on.
But an old-school tool puts technology to shame.
Get past the keys.
Turn the engine off.
The tried and tested copper's nose.
Technology has got better over the years. We can do checks at the side of the road on his mobile phone and check instantly whether or not the vehicle's insured, it's taxed, it's got an MOT, and then that links in with the ANPR side of things. But you've still got to rely on your sort of your copper's nose, your gut instinct, because you'll find a lot of the time, if your gut instincts, if there's something off, that's usually it is, and it's right, and just going with it.
Two coppers with particularly fine noses are Charlotte Appleby and Adam Moroz. They've just picked up the scent of a red Golf GTD.
It's from Sheffield.
Sure, Sheffield as well.
Yeah.
The car's insurance checks out, but gut instinct tells Mozza it's worth a closer look.
We might go code 1 with this.
Mozza spends his free time rock climbing and mountain biking. High-octane pursuits guaranteed to set the pulse racing.
Yeah, pull him.
It's one of the many reasons he loves riding shotgun with PC Appleby.
Go in.
Go in. Got failed to stop. Going off to 11.99, stand by.
Spooked by the blues, the Golf has shot off like a rocket.
Go on to Silk Street.
And the hot hatch has a few horses under the hood. 180 to be precise.
Got failed to stop, Leamington Estate. 6-train driver, suitable vehicle.
But whoever's at the wheel will need more than a fast car to lose an interceptor.
It's left onto Twitchell View. Road conditions are dry. Unknown occupants in the vehicle. Reason for stop was just suspicious vehicle.
Conditions may be dry, but it's a built-up area, and round here, Charlotte can't risk matching the Golf for pace.
Mike Kilo 6. Driver is 3582 Appleby. We got any OS in the area, please? Any Stinger units nearby?
Mozza wants a Stinger, but who needs backup when the locals are as helpful as these two chaps?
It's currently a temporary loss in the middle of the Leamington Estate. Stand by.
Runner.
We've got a runner industrial units on the side of the Leamington Estate. Where's he gone?
Gone down there.
The driver's scarpered down a path behind a supermarket.
Is that it, then? Yeah.
And he's as nippy on 2 feet as he was on 4 wheels.
Don't you just see anyone run out of here?
I'm going to go back to the car.
He's decamped to the back of Lidl. We've come out into the main road. Total loss at the moment. Don't you see anyone running around out of breath around here?
I'm sorry, I've only just come out of the shop.
It's no sight, no description.
It happens so quickly, it's getting people in place at the right time, and busy time of day. We were just fortunate, really. Members of the public were directed us to which way it had gone, because we'd totally lost it because of the speeds it was doing.
The driver's done a proper David Blaine and vanished into thin air.
I mean, where's he going to have gone from here, where people? Because loads of people here said they haven't seen him.
I don't know, unless he's gone over the car parks, but...
While other units in the area are put on red alert, Charlotte and Mozza check the motor for clues.
That's had cannabis in it at some point.
Weed isn't the only dodgy discovery hiding in the Golf.
There's some plates in back and all. What's reg on it?
A second set of plates is a promising sign the Golf's been cloned, so Charlotte runs a check on its VIN number.
Yeah, that's received, thank you. Yeah, stolen vehicle.
It turns out the car was stolen the previous week in Gloucestershire, and the details of the theft make for grim reading.
Whoever's stolen it, they've used a crowbar to threaten the person whose car it was. They've obviously taken it with the keys and then they've put these false plates on it.
The Golf was stolen in a violent attack before being cloned.
There's a passport in the glove box, female's details on it, and a handbag strewn on the floor as well, so put a bit victims, won't it?
The good news is that they've taken a stolen car from a criminal, but for now, the driver remains at large.
I'd be happy if we'd caught him, but we've got the car back. Stolen in quite a nasty robbery down in Gloucestershire, where occupants been threatened with a crowbar. I mean, it was rapid. Charlotte's done well to keep up with it. Charlotte's done well to pass a bit of a description of him as he's legged it. So he'll come again. They always do.
Right, standby team.
While some units train for armed raids, and others tackle drugs gangs,
decent-sized bag of uncut gear, cracking heroin.
It's the canny cops on the traffic teams whose tenacity keeps our roads safe.
Vehicle stung, vehicle stung.
It's midweek and a blizzard is blowing in across the county.
Is it still heavy snow north, Phil, or is it east off a bit?
With conditions on the M1 rapidly deteriorating, the road's police teams must be vigilant.
Just let you know, it's slowly moving down. That's 26 there.
Skelly and Haddon are tucked into the hard shoulder on a slip road. On the bridge up ahead, another unit have their lasers trained on the 3 lanes below.
We've got an unmarked vehicle that's using the speed gun handheld speed detection device, looking for speeders on the carriageway, and then ultimately we're going to move off and intercept those vehicles, deal with the drivers for any speeding offences. And you'll always have those drivers who are impatient, they're in a hurry, they're running behind, etc. Try and force their way through traffic, drive too close, and inevitably you end up with a crash, which, to be fair, could be any time, looking at the conditions.
But as it turns out, this is merely the storm before the calm.
Look at the weather, it's completely changed.
As sun replaces snow, a glint in the near side lane catches Skelly's eye.
Lorry, no cargo in it. Has he not got a cargo in it? Craig was going to go and have that big HGV that's got a load of metal in and no net over.
A lorry with a loose load is cause for concern.
So there's a big HGV, it's got like a skip container on the back, but it's got loads of objects protruding from it, like looks like loads of rolls of metal and bits and bobs. You can see it in the distance in the near side lane. Well, it should have a cargo net over it, because obviously that's quite an unsafe load.
Each year, tens of thousands of hazardous items are recovered from major roads, having fallen from unsecured vehicles.
I mean, look, there's stuff actually hanging out over the edge, down the sides. Craig, are you running PNC?
With the lorry safely off the carriageway, Haddon goes in search of an explanation.
Hiya mate, you alright? Have you got your licence on you?
My licence is DVLA.
Put your shoes on, get your ID and then come sit with us in the car, alright?
He's got a lorry load of scrap and a licence that's gone AWOL. This sounds like a job for Skelly. Before becoming a cop, Skelly was a welder and an insurance clerk. If it's a case of loose metal and dodgy paperwork, he's your man.
Why have you got no net over your lorry?
When they load me, they got what you call that barrier, and that's heavy stuff on the top.
Right, but the stuff sticking out, you can't have stuff sticking out like that, mate. If anything falls off, it's going to injure somebody.
No, I know that. I mean, this
but it's your
years,
yeah, but it's your responsibility.
I know, but they put me really heavy stuff on the top.
Right.
The driver appears to be shifting the blame onto whoever loaded the van. But as the man behind the wheel, it's up to him to ensure it's safe.
So you're going to be dealt with at the roadside, OK? So I'm going to give you a ticket for carrying a load that's likely to cause danger, OK?
While Skelly investigates the man's credentials, Haddon's been checking out his cargo, which makes for a troubling sight.
It's all scrap metal and metal poles and all sorts. It's all stuff that could get caught up in a bit of wind, or if it goes over a bump and then it's going to cascade over the edge, and then it'll cause serious injury and a collision to passing road users, which is what we've had. We've had something like this where it's come off, gone through the windscreen of a vehicle and unfortunately killed the driver. So this is exactly the kind of thing we need to be stopping on the motorway.
Is it all insured?
Yes.
OK.
Checks reveal that the driver is licensed and fully insured for the lorry. But Haddon is baffled by his negligence.
The actual trailer has a net on it, doesn't it? So why, if it's inbuilt into the trailer, I'm assuming, is it a button you press and it pulls it over? So why haven't you covered it?
I think no need.
Right. There's something in the back of your trailer, put the net over it.
The man could be getting 3 points on his licence and a hefty fine. But if he sticks a net on his lethal-looking scrap, he's free to go.
It's really annoyed me that the net is inbuilt into the trailer and he's not been bothered to do it.
Yeah, I know.
Because look how much more safer it is now.
For the interceptors, a shift patrolling the M1 is many things, but it's never dull.
Just learned a very valuable lesson.
The boys have just received an unexpected call from Phil Broughton.
Very, very careful on the motorway because of the traffic on the hard shoulder. Because we just had a lorry come in and take out the side and the car was stopped.
A few moments ago, 2 miles up the M1, interceptors Phil and Pierce pulled a taxi for speeding. And while Pierce spoke to the driver, shaves don't come closer than this. More than 100 people are killed and injured on the hard shoulder each year. And having narrowly missed becoming one of them, Phil wants words with the lorry driver, who's left the M1 at the next junction. By the time Skelly and Haddon arrived, the lorry driver's already been dealt with by Phil.
We were dealing with this gentleman for a traffic offence on the exit slip of the motorway. And whilst we've been parked there, this lorry decided to cross from lane 1 into the hard shoulder. Missed us, but unfortunately took the front end of this vehicle out and then carried on. So he's now been dealt with for an offence of driving without due care and attention. So you can't give any reason on why he's crossed over. He's negative on a breath test and all those other checks have been done. But it just goes to show pretty much having your wits about you when you're on the motorway. Luckily nobody's injured and it's damage only, but it could definitely have been a lot more serious than what it was.
The man's paperwork is all in order and he's free to go, but he's been left shaken by the near miss.
You need a few minutes, calm down or whatever, then do that. I'm going to leave. Yeah, all right. Well, don't pull off until you're ready to.
Our job is, if you like, old-fashioned traffic, so we're making sure that all the motorists are safe. As a result of that, sometimes our own safety obviously comes into question because we're at the side of a busy motorway, on the hard shoulder, or on some fast unlit roads, etc., etc. It's only by sheer luck that it's not ended in tragedy.
The man was reported for driving without due care and attention. He got 7 points and was fined £520. The scrap metal lorry driver received a penalty notice, and the matter is now in the hands of the Summary Process Unit. Still to come.
So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 belly slicers.
The cops sense someone's been telling porkies.
You know, if someone comes out of a shop running with a load of meat, you know it's stolen, don't you?
Yeah.
It's the Sunday shift. Whilst most of us are tucking into a hearty roast dinner, interceptors Rob and Dan have something else on the menu.
Quite through, we're some way off, but we are towards.
They're in the unmarked, hunting a black Audi that's suspected of involvement in a shop theft.
You may have passed it. What's the details of the shop theft? Is it like clothing or food?
It was meat from the co-op.
The stakes may not sound high, but a theft's a theft, whichever way you slice it.
Oh, what's that? Lane 2, lot. Has it got silver whip mirrors?
And Rob has his meat pies on the suspect.
We may have it hunting the street, just stand by.
As they pass, Dan clocks the Audi's plates.
Yeah.
Time for Rob to pull a Yui.
Yeah, we've got it hunting the street outbound. It's lane 2, second from pole outside the Litmus building.
After a hard shift chasing bad guys, Dan likes to kick back with a Batman movie and a family box of fried chicken. Today, however, he's Rob's wingman.
We're now 4 for cover. I think we're going to make some progress and get it stopped.
As the road opens up, Rob makes his move. Pops on the blues.
There we go.
And gets the desired result.
Lights are on, it's a stop.
Pleased to meet you.
How are we doing? Yeah, good. Good to speak to you. Want to jump in the back for us?
Yeah,
What's your name?
The driver's compliant and polite. And if you're polite to Rob, Rob's polite to you.
Mate, have you got your licence with you?
I haven't, no.
Have you got any ID?
Passport's in my car.
Passport?
Yeah.
Is it your motor?
It is, yeah.
You're all legit, insured and everything?
Yeah.
Smashing, all right. There's information on the vehicle to suggest that it's been involved in shop thefts.
All right.
So, we're coming to check your details, find out who's driving it, make sure there's no stolen gear in there, and if everything's okay, you're on your way. Yeah. If there is stolen gear in there and you're not okay...
It really is that simple.
I'd never go in a shop and thieve anything in my life, so...
We've only been passed some information just to, I'd say it's just to suggest, so this is now what part stopping you is part of the inquiry is to find out exactly what's happened.
Meanwhile, interceptors are taking an interest in the Audi's front seat passenger.
Have you been to any shops lately? No?
Both men are pleading ignorance.
What's been nicked? Say meat.
So the time has come to have a butcher's in the boot.
Shall we, the big reveal?
Nottingham's not seen this much raw flesh since the Chippendales came to town.
So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 belly slices. Yeah, clearly there's a substantial amount of meat in the back. Clearly it's been thrown in there. It's not bagged up, there's no receipts obviously, so I think they may be coming with us for the shop theft. Just getting a description of who has been involved. It's obviously 3 in the car.
As luck would have it, a CCTV image of the alleged thief has just been emailed to the cops.
Really?
Is it just him?
Jeans, combat coat, what Mel would be.
Oh.
It sounds like the supermarket sweep was performed by the front seat passenger.
I didn't know he was going to go in the shop and run out with a basket of food, did they?
So you know that he ran out with a basket full of food?
I think that's what he did, yeah. He chucked it in the food. I don't want to get him in trouble, you know what I mean?
Right, because the issue we've kind of got is that if you know that that's what he's doing...
Well, I didn't really know what he was doing, did I? You know what I mean? I'm not...
Yeah.
I'd never...
But you're also not stupid.
You know him that well.
The passenger is read his rights and will be heading off to the nick.
Want to see a barbecue?
Rob needn't fire up the coals just yet. Dan's got a much better idea.
We've got a photo of that.
Yeah, it's all listed, itemised. We're going to take it straight back.
The meat is heading back to the supermarket. What's more, the driver's fate has been sealed too.
You'll be free to go.
Yeah.
Ultimately, you need to be careful.
Well, I need to stop mixing with people like this, don't
you socialise who you want to, but you know if someone comes out of a shop running with a load of meat, you know it's stolen, don't you? So ultimately, you've committed an offence by driving off and helping him out. Yeah. You've done this fella a favour by driving away. Yeah. The sergeant, thankfully, has decided to not complicate the matter. Yeah. And let you off with just a flea in your ear, but it won't keep happening.
Yeah, all right, I appreciate that.
All right.
To do it again, I promise. Yeah.
Good.
After a light roasting from Rob,
ta-da,
the driver's free to go.
Simple job, really. You know, man goes into shop, man steals meat, walks out, and he's got a getaway driver. It's pretty simple, you know, and the description that we've got from the witness at the store is bang on to that of the passenger, so he's absolutely bang to rights. The driver, a bit of an odd one, telling plenty of porkies. He clearly didn't want to get in trouble with this whole thing, and he let slip that he knew that the guy had been in there nicking the meat, but just suddenly didn't want anything to do with it. Our sergeant, you know, I think he's made the right call. Let's not overcomplicate this matter. Let's deal with the person that's actually gone and stolen it, as opposed to just the getaway driver.
After a grilling with the CCTV evidence, the offence of shop theft was withdrawn at court and he received no further action. Still, Rob's not about to mince his words.
If he's caught again in similar circumstances, he'll be straight for the chop. It's horrible, isn't it?
Police Interceptors are back new next Monday at 8. From daring search and rescue to criminal investigations, Coast Guard Every Second Counts starts brand new Sunday at 9. And tonight, all units are racing to the scene as late night revellers kick off after dark in Police Night Shift 999. New next.